Okay, so we're going to look at an image. I want you to take a second to look it over. I will say or ask that you guys keep your comments to like one or two things so that other people can talk, and then if there's still something you want to say, I'll get back to you. It's okay to disagree. I just ask that you do so respectfully. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay, what's going on in this picture?
The figure of what I believe to be as a woman is pointing a gun in the viewer's direction.
Okay. And what do you see that makes you say that?
I believe it's a woman, kind of based on the face shape and the eyes. Well, the eyes especially. Seems to be wearing makeup and the lashes, and that does look like a gun, as if you would hold it as a gun, and she is pointing it straight ahead.
Okay. Okay, so you're noticing this figure that appears to be a woman, especially because of the facial features and the eyes, and you're noticing this gun that she seems to be pointing at the viewer. Okay, good. Mark me some.
She has words written all over her body, so maybe that's like the message that she's trying to tell, or story.
Okay. And you're noticing what appears to be some words written on her body, and that possibly this represents a story that she is trying to convey. Okay, good. I'll work on that.
She's wearing what I assume is like kind of a headdress or like a burqa. So that should be indicating that she's a Middle Eastern woman. And that I think with the words on her body, the words are speaking the message for her. Because normally, when you see a woman wearing a burqa, her face is covered.
Okay. So you're noticing the attire that this woman's wearing, possibly a burqa, and that might suggest that this woman is Middle Eastern. Okay. Good. One more you got.
On top of Middle Eastern, women who are Muslim wear burqas, of a more, I guess, like serious sect, where they would cover their whole bodies versus a hijab, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the form of calligraphy is kind of more of a male-dominated kind of exercise, and so that might bring up kind of like power tensions in this image.
Okay. So you're noticing the burqa as well, and possibly that this one might be Muslim, specifically because of the way it's covering her face. And you're also noticing the calligraphy, and that it's a male-dominated sort of thing, and that's probably or possibly suggesting a contrast between opposition between women and men of that culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Also, it kind of shows she's not dominant the way she's holding the gun. If you the way you hold guns, primarily for gun safety, because you have control of a gun, you're supposed to have like a dominant stance. You hold it with both hands. She doesn't necessarily have control of it. She's holding it censored, but it's not pointed censored. She doesn't have control of the gun.
Okay. So you're
complete control.
Okay. So you're noticing the way she's holding this gun, and that it doesn't really seem like she has complete control of it, specifically because she's just using one hand to hold it, and the gun doesn't really seem to be steady since it's kind of off center. Okay, good. More with that.
I think this image could represent one of two things: either that it's showing that that she as a Muslim woman is very oppressed in a male-dominated world, by the calligraphy on her face, and that it is, and also the gun covering her mouth as well, or that it could be talking about kind of like a hatred for Americans, that kind of thing, especially with all of the things that have been going on between the two over the last decade or so,
Okay.
more decade and a half or so.
Okay, so you're also commenting on this calligraphy, as Kara did, about possibly being a male-dominated sort of connection, and also with the gun covering her mouth, and then also that possibly this image is a suggestion for this culture's attitude towards ours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. More with them.
I think that I feel like it's a stereotype that people who aren't Muslim have, that like people in burqas like don't have, like they maybe they feel like they don't have a voice, or it's kind of like something that people say about them, that they're just kind of there and they're hidden. So I think that through writing the story on her arm, she's showing that she has a voice, and with the gun, just the gun being in the image, she's showing that she has power too.
Okay. So you were commenting on sort of stereotypes that surround women that wear burqa, and that maybe it's kind of suggesting that she doesn't really have a voice yet. With this writing on your arm, and also the gun, shows that she does actually have some control or power. Okay, good. More than that.
I think it says something that this is in black and white. Like there's not a lot of life to her.
Okay, so you're noticing that the image is black and white. And what else did you say? You said something else.
Kind of like there's not a lot of life to her, not a lot of personality. If she is Muslim, there's strict rules for her, and she's in a male-dominant society.
Okay, so possibly the color of just it being black and white suggests sort of the kind of maybe emotion or sort of feeling that she's going through because of her lifestyle.
Emotionless.
Emotional. Okay. Good. More insight.
I think what you brought up about the image being in black and white is a really good point. And it could also, I think, like bring to the point that this is a very intense image, since there's so much contrast between the lights and the darks of the photograph.
Okay. So again, you're noticing the black and white, and how that stark contrast can also lead to the contrast of maybe oppositions between male and female oppositions of this kind of culture.
Yeah, possibly, but I think it's also just really pointing to the fact that this image, though it's very, like what Bree said, she doesn't seem like there's kind of an emotionlessness to it, but it's still very intense.
Okay. All right. So the contrast is also leading or helping this sort of intense expression on her face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. Some more insight.
I like what Bree said about the gun kind of seeming like nonchalantly held, or just it's not. It seems like it's being held in a way that the 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 user doesn't perhaps know how to use a gun, and it's slightly off center, and her eyes do seem a little like glazed. They're not. They don't seem intensely intense like they seem a little off as well, kind of like if you would see like MIA in a music video and she's just kind of like pointing guns everywhere. So I think it's interesting because it is a very intense image of this woman holding a gun like over her mouth, but in a sense it's also kind of it also seems kind of sad, or kind of tired in the way that she's holding it, in the way, and her eyes as well. So I think there's just kind of a strange juxtaposition there.
Okay. So like Bree, you're noticing the way she's holding her gun really isn't the way you would expect somebody to be holding a gun, especially if they're going to be attacking somebody, because it's off center. And also, her expression doesn't really seem to read the sort of expression you would expect somebody holding a gun, pointing a gun, creating a sort of contrast of what you would expect. Good. More Python.
Maybe like Megan said, it's not really, maybe the point is the words, and so the gun is just for you to look at her and pay attention first, but then the real point is her story, her message through the words.
Okay. So you're suggesting that maybe the focus really isn't about the gun, but more so the actual words that are written on her, and the gun is just a way to draw you in and get your attention. Okay, good. More Python.
I'm interested in what the words actually say. Like, imagine either being something like probably something out of the Quran, or just like her story or her voice.
Okay.
I picture it being like either two drastic things, like either something that is representing her self-expression, or something that is supposed to be her, and what government, society in her area is wanting her to be. I don't know.
Okay. Do you mean that there's a difference between the two different fonts, or just?
No, I feel like in just the whole thing, it's either
Okay.
one or the other.
Okay. So you're questioning what the actual
Translation.
Yeah, right. What it's actually saying, whether it's something that is from her religious views, or if it's just her actual story. Okay, good. More Python.
It could be like a listen to me plea, or a leave me alone plea
Okay.
as well, I think.
Okay, and what do you see that makes you say that?
Well, because obviously the gun, it draws you in, so you have to pay attention to this only figure on the screen, this central figure who's commanding you, even though you don't see a lot of her face, and even though a lot of the image is negative. But so you have to pay attention to this woman, but she could either be saying, okay, I've drawn you in, now listen to me, or it could be stay away, because I get both of those things from a gun. It could be stay away, and don't perhaps mess with me, or in a broader sense, what the words represent.
Okay. And so you are noticing, again, the gun possibly, or being the focus of this image to draw you in, but there is um, the possibility of it sending two different kinds of messages, whether it's stay away or I actually want this attention. Okay, good. More Python.
I think it's interesting that the gun is a revolver. I mean, I know that there's other kinds of handguns, but is it a revolver because it's a very identifiable kind of handgun, or is it just like an older kind of handgun that she might find access to, or something of the sort? I don't know.
Okay, so you are noticing the actual gun itself and the type of gun it is, a very recognizable gun. And
Actually, it looks like that she's used all the other bullets are gone
okay.
from the revolver. So maybe it's just one more bullet left, and she actually doesn't care anymore, kind of thing.
Okay, so you're noticing actually the bullets being gone and possibly she only has one left. Okay, good. More Python.
Or what if there's no bullets in the gun and she's bluffing she's for, like, I'm thinking, like, in the sense of, like, in that society, yes, there are people who believe in suicide bombings, who believe in killing for sacrificing or killing because of Allah and all that stuff. I'm not too educated about all the details of it, but what if there has to be someone that is part of the group that does not want to kill or want to be killed for their religion? And what if she's one of them? She has a gun. She's supposed to kill because she's part of this group, but she can't do it.
Okay, so, you're also saying the, bullets being the same like Liz, and possibly that's suggesting that she actually doesn't want any violence. Okay, good. Good job, guys.